Tibu, Victorio Calero en directo para Real Madrid Televisión. ¿Cómo estás, lo primero de todo? Y lo segundo, ¿cómo
You feeling after everything, and how are Real Madrid feeling going into this massive game against Arsenal? I feel great. I had a small problem, but it was something that I had to work on day to day. But for the last few days, I've been coming back, and now I feel 100%. I feel good. I think the team, we have to continue. Obviously, we lost against Valencia, but now the focus is on the Champions League. It's a huge game tomorrow, and we have to try and win. How you doing, Thibaut? Arsenal have scored lots of goals from set pieces this season in the Premier League. Real Madrid have conceded many, including against Valencia. What's been lacking for you in this area? Have you been lacking concentration? We worked on it yesterday. We know that we have to try and defend situations like that, and also try and not concede many corners. It's a question of concentration. Sometimes, the quality of the rival can cause us problems. They might be well positioned, but we know how hard it can be to defend against, good teams, but we're ready to defend well against them, and we hope that, and we think we've prepared well for this. How are you feeling after your, muscular injury? Do you feel you're at 100%? Yeah. I had a few injuries at the start of the season. One on my abductor, one in the game against Athletic. I took a few blows in that game, and I think before perhaps I got back too early in the season when I had an injury. It was a minor thing, but now it's been quite a minor thing again, and it's just been working day to day. And we thought it was better to wait for this game instead of the weekend, so for my return. This morning, Saka said that Arsenal have not lost in the last 2 years in Champions League. Do you think it will be a tough test tomorrow at the stadium? I didn't know that, but I don't think that really changes much. We've won 15 Champions League, but it doesn't really change anything. We know they're a strong team at home. There are teams who are very strong at home, and we know Arsenal are one of those teams. But I don't think that really changes much for the game tomorrow. Each game of football is different. Every stadium is different. Teams have come here many times this season and not been able to win. They've been strong at home for a long time this season. We know Arsenal are very strong at home. We know it's going to be a really tough game. And, we'll have that on our minds tomorrow. We want to talk more about set pieces. Apart from the positioning of the defenders, Arsenal are very strong from set pieces. Will the movement they have in set pieces, will that cause problems for you? We'll defend like we defend. We tend to defend in a zonal system with blocks. Other teams go man to man. Sometimes you have to try and use your intuition to guess if it's going to the first post, second post. We know that Arsenal will try and, block me. You have to be switched on to that and try and defend against it. You can't go looking to, ask for a foul. As a goalkeeper, it's important to analyse set pieces. And tomorrow we'll try and be strong in that area, because set pieces are very important. they can win a game like that if you get a goal from set pieces. It can really help you. This season, Madrid have been struggling to finish off games, leaving things to the end. Do you think that will work against the rival, knowing that Madrid have that capacity to come back late in games? And what will you do to try and make sure you're not shaky to the end? We always try and find solutions early in games. And sometimes, physically we improve as games go on, and we have players who can make a difference. They come on, give us fresh legs. That's very important in situations like this. If we can have games wrapped up by the 60th minute, it's better, but that's part of football, Each game is different, it just depends what happens,
But it's Thibaut from Ziggo Sport Netherlands. I wanted to ask you about your fellow Belgian teammate, Kevin De Bruyne, was announced that he will leave Manchester City. Just like you at Real Madrid, he's been with that club for so long. What was your idea when you heard that? And where do you rate him if you look at the best players that Belgium has had?
No, for sure, he's one of the best ever players to play for in Belgian national team and with the Belgian nationality. Also in the Premier League, I think, obviously winning 6 Premier Leagues. I think what he gave to City, I guess he's one of the best players also to have played in the Premier League. And obviously last time we were in the national team, I kind of felt maybe that he was going to move on. So it was not entirely surprised to hear him say this now last week. But I'm sure he's a great player and one of the greatest in the Premier League. And obviously I hope next year also with Belgium he can still be at the highest level and that we can reach the World Cup and have a great World Cup together.
Gary Brown, welcome back to London, Thibaut. The Arsenal players actually stayed late to watch your penalty shootout in the tunnel just down there. They've got a huge amount of respect for the 15 titles Real Madrid have won and all you have to offer. But what is your view of what Arsenal have done since you've left, the coming through of Bukayo Saka, the transformation of Arteta? What's the view of the Real Madrid dressing room? Because in this country, everyone's in awe of what Real Madrid have done. What do you all think of what Arsenal have done?
No, I think we have a lot of respect for Arsenal. I have a lot of Arsenal friends, so of supporters that are fans of Arsenal. So obviously, I know they have been doing great. That they've been close to winning a Premier League, and they're playing well. They had a young team with some experienced players. Have a good mix. They defend well. They can press high. They can defend in a low block. They are quick on the counter-attack. They have people who can score easily. Obviously, they have the set pieces. So we know it's a team hard to break down and a team that can score easily also. So we have a lot of respect for them. And we analyzed well how they play and where we can hopefully hurt them and where they cannot hurt us. So we hope on a great game tomorrow. But obviously, we hope to win. But I think Arsenal is doing great. And I guess it's a matter of time before they win another trophy. Hopefully we can pass in the Champions League, but they are doing great.
Thibaut, a lot of Arsenal fans will be very happy to see you here. They were hoping you'd be injured and not travel. You are here. The fact you're giving the news conference, does that mean that you're definitely going to start, and are you fully fit?
Yeah, I'm fully fit, so if I start that you have to ask the manager after, but I'm fit. I feel good. It was also not a big issue, so I could train in the gym and do my routines. And I have been on the pitch for the last day, so I feel fine and 100%, and hopefully ready to help the team tomorrow.
Members of the Emirates, you obviously played matches here, evening matches as well. Good atmosphere.
Yeah, it's a great place to play at. The pitch is great. It's always a good atmosphere. Always had here. Nice games with Chelsea, also a loss, so hopefully tomorrow is different, but yeah, it's always up for a good game.
¿Qué tal, Thibaut? Sergio López Pavelas. ¿Viste en octubre en la rueda de prensa previa?
This October, in the press conference before a game, you said there's been a lot of criticism. You said there's some of the criticism this team has received has been over the top. You know, we played quite badly against Valencia. We wanted to win that game, but we failed to score a penalty. Then they went and scored a goal. You know, they made some good saves, and then in the last minute to concede the goal. I don't think we're playing badly, like some of the critics have said. I think we're going well, but some of the results haven't matched that. But we're here now, and all the competitions are alive. We're competing in everything, and we're going to fight until the very end. And the team knows what we have to do. The most important thing's the results, though. I wanted to ask you about the change you see in Real Madrid in the Champions League and how they can just flick the switch, play at a different level. How would you explain that? I don't think there's really a big change. You know, perhaps it's more noticeable because it's the Champions League, but we take every game 100% seriousness. It's not like we cruise in the La Liga. You know, every game is important. Sometimes being in the Champions League, the level's a bit higher. It means people raise their game a bit, perhaps, you know. But also in Champions League, you know, you're punished for every error you make, and more so than in La Liga. So maybe there's a small change because we know we need to be 100%. Continuing with that question regarding the criticism you've received, do the players, you know, choose games where they're going to be more motivated, where they're going to play better? Is it like that? No, it's not like that. We know what we have to do to play well in every game, to play the best we can. Sometimes a journalist might think one thing, that, you know, players don't approach games with the same motivation, but that's not true. We don't see it like that as players. You know, we're all teammates. We always want to play well, and we don't choose which games we're going to perform in. It's not like that. There's motivation for every game we compete in. And in Champions League, perhaps it's, you know, extra high, but we give 100% in every game. You know, we do it for the badge, for the shirt, for this club. We're all fans. We're all passionate about that. We always give 100%. We always leave everything on the pitch. No, it's not like we choose which games we're going to play well in.